Welcome. You are at a joyful masterclass for connection professionals. My name is Hansen, like the all natural soda, not the band. I lead the community efforts for Covve, and that includes hosting this connection crew. Now, what is the connection crew, especially for the first timers here, our debut folks? It is the Olympic training team for connection professionals. It's a community of peers passionate about connection and inspired to take action to flatten the loneliness epidemic curve. And it's for people of all sorts, but in general, people professionally helping the world connect better. And why Covve? Why me? What are we doing here today? It may come as a surprise to folks because this is definitely not normal on your free Zoom webinars of the world. We aren't selling anything here. There's no lead funnel. There's no ads. You're not going to get any cold sales calls from us. We're just spreading good quality connection and joy, hence the name A Joyful Masterclass for Connection. Here at Covve, we believe in the mission of flattening the loneliness epidemic curve and being more intentional with our relationships. And one way that we can do that and facilitate connection that we've started doing at these master classes, if you're first time here, some of us have these digital backgrounds with a QR code. That's our digital business card. Feel free to scan that with your phone and you can keep connected with that person. You can send an email intro. You can just find their LinkedIn links or their email address. And that's one way to kind of organically keep connected and introduce each other throughout this 1 hour event. And thank you, as always, a ton of heartfelt gratitude for Giannis and the rest of the Covve team for believing in me to bring this crew together. Now, how this is going to work today, there's going to be 3 takeaways. 1, the feeling of connection. We all love that feeling, when you just feel connected and like you belong. That's what we want to give you today. 2, practice 3 connection activities with a buddy. And then 3, at least 1 new friend. So you're going to be in 3 different breakout rooms, but with the same person. So that way you don't have to get to know all 100 people here today. You can really go deeper with 1 person. And the format that we facilitate each of these activities is this I do, we do, you do learning model, where you get to see it done twice before you then go repeat that with your buddy in the breakout room. We are ready to welcome in our first panelist. So let's welcome Richard Lee Tai to the stage and join me on the spotlight. Welcome, Richard. Good to see you again.
Thank you.
Please give a warm welcome to Richard. Everyone in the chat say hi, but also Richard, introduce yourself, share a little bit about what you do, who you are.
Great. My name is Richard Lee Tai. I'm from Calgary, Canada, so shout out if anyone else is from there. I'm a connection consultant and founder of a company called Excuses to Connect. I primarily work with universities and colleges in terms of reducing student loneliness.
And are there any other Canadians in the room? I didn't put that as one of the belonging badges, but we should have like the Canadian flag just to be in solidarity with Richard. I'm stoked to have you here, Richard. Thank you for being open to facilitating an activity in extreme time constraints. I make all these panelists shorten their 1 hour and 2 hour activities into 5 minutes. So I would love for you to take it away and help this room start getting connected.
Awesome. So the activity I'll be inviting us to go through today is a meditation for self-connection. I first experienced this meditation back in 2018, facilitated by Dr. Leslie Elstad in a meetup group here in Calgary. And this meditation is based on my recollection of how I experienced it. In terms of what to expect, this meditation explores the question of, is there something that you've always wanted to hear from someone else but never received? And instead of continuing to wait to hear those phrases from other people, what if we offered it to ourselves? When I had gone through this exercise, it's very moving for me, and it felt like it was healing a part of myself that I didn't know needed healing. And I know activities like this are always an invitation to explore, but if what I just shared sounds way outside of your comfort zone, just know that you also have the choice in how much you want to participate. It's all voluntary. So listen to your body and what feels right to you. For example, when I do the meditation, you might feel it's better for you if you want to turn off your camera for a few minutes. Also, if you're new to meditation, know that there's no right or wrong way of doing it. Allow yourself to simply experience whatever comes up. If you get distracted, that's okay. If you fall asleep, that's also okay. That's also happened to me. You can enjoy your few minutes of rest. And there will be a facilitation guide that's posted into the chat afterwards in case if any of you want to use this exercise in your work. So I'll get started now with this meditation. So let's begin by getting yourself comfortable. I'd invite you to gently close your eyes or lower your gaze if that feels right for you. And allow yourself to switch from whatever else has been going on the rest of this day and bring yourself to this moment. Bring your attention to your body. Notice any points of contact with the surface beneath you. And next, direct your attention to your breathing. Follow your breath as it comes in and then out through your lungs, without trying to change it, simply being aware of it. Giving your full attention to each in-breath and then to each out-breath. If distracting thoughts arise, acknowledge them without becoming involved and return back to your breath. When you're ready, you might bring to mind the image of a person that's been loving and kind to you. Someone who easily evokes feelings of warmth. Could be a spouse or partner, a family member, a close friend. Someone whose caring easily emanates from them to you. Notice any feelings you have for them arise in your body. It may be a smile that spreads across your face. It may be a warmth in your body. Whatever it is, allow it to be felt. Now, I'd invite us to delve a bit deeper. As humans, we can sometimes feel like we're not good enough. There may be parts of ourselves that we feel are broken, missing, or imperfect. There may be parts of ourselves that feel like it's lacking attention, or that would benefit from some healing. In this context, I'd like you to consider the question, is there something you've always wanted to hear from someone else, but never received? Maybe it's a single phrase, maybe it's multiple phrases. You might be yearning to hear it from your parents, your partner, your friend, or someone else. Maybe it's wanting to hear acknowledgement from them. I'm proud of you. You're loved. You're enough as you are. Whatever the phrase may be, see if you can hold it in your field of awareness. The thing is, we may never actually hear these words from the person that we want it from. Instead of continuing to wait, what if you offered those words to yourself now? You don't need to wait any longer. Repeat the phrase or phrases that you've identified and direct it to yourself. And if it's supportive to you, you could also bring your hands and place them against your heart. Imagining warm energy and love flowing from the palms of your hands and into your being. You may feel a deep sense of being connected to yourself. Take a deep breath in, filling your lungs, and slowly exhale. Taking time to appreciate and feel what's been generated through this practice. Sit with your breath for a few moments, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back to this space. Okay, so it seems like most people are back. So I'll be facilitating a debrief with Jan, and then I'll give some more instructions for when folks go into their breakout rooms. So Jan, I'm curious, what thoughts or feelings did this meditation bring up to you? And you're not required to share what your phrase was, but if that feels for you, you can go ahead and share that too.
I think when I was first thinking about the sentence that I wish to have heard from someone else, it felt like there was something missing. You know, I'm not complete until the sentence arrives. And I think the part that shifted when I then said that to myself is like, well, I feel more in control. Like I can actually give this to myself. I don't need to wait or be in this kind of limbo of like, is it gonna come? Is it not gonna come? What, like, do I have to do something? But it turns out it actually felt really good to say that to myself. I'm not sure if it's the same thing, but definitely interesting to go through that exercise.
Yeah, definitely. And it's a good point you made because maybe there wasn't a particular phrase that came up for folks, or maybe it might be an indication that you feel complete as is, which is also great. So meditations can bring up a lot of different experiences. I'd also be curious, do you see yourself potentially applying this activity somewhere in your work? If not, that's also okay. But yeah.
Yeah, I think I've done a similar activity, but I know we're doing like the shorter version, right? Because I feel like to fully experience this and feel the impact of it, I can see that being really great for like self-development, right? If for people who want to grow as a person or maybe uncover something that is holding them back.
Mhm. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Jan. Maybe we can give you a round of applause for sharing.
Yeah, thank you
Vulnerable.
for sharing the meditation.
Yeah, definitely. So for everyone else, you just saw me and Jan do this, and you're going to get a chance to do the same thing in a breakout room. And so let me give you the instructions for that, and I'll also be posting in the chat right now. So in the first 30 seconds of your breakout room, just introduce yourselves like, hi, this is my name, I'm from here. And then whoever had the most recent birthday can be person A. And person A can answer those same questions of what thoughts or feelings did this meditation bring up for you? And you're not required to share what your phrase is, but if it feels right, you can go ahead and share that. And then secondly, where do you see yourself potentially applying this activity in your work or your life? And then person B will hold space for person A by not interrupting them. And then halfway through, you can switch roles and repeat. Welcome back, everyone. Hopefully, well, you got to meet someone new. You're going to keep interacting with them for the next two activities as well. But hopefully, you had the start of some great discussion.
Yeah, and if you are open to sharing how that was for you, you're welcome to share in the chat and what came up for you. We don't really have time to bring people on stage to speak about it, but we'd love to hear how that experience was for you guys and also share some gratitude for Richard leading us through that meditation. Thank you, Richard. So great to finally get to collaborate with you. And next up is our friend Tess Cohen. So let's bring Tess to the stage. And there she is. Tess, please introduce yourself and say a little bit about you and kind of why you're here.
Yeah, thanks, Hansen. Hi, everybody. My name is Tess Cohen. I'm based in the mountains of Denver, Colorado, and I am an experienced designer and facilitator with my own consulting practice called Transformative Gatherings, where I guide purpose-driven companies to gather better. And my life purpose is to foster belonging and continuous learning by creating spaces that center community and curiosity. And I am thrilled today to share one of my most favorite powerful activities that I've ever facilitated that I learned from a mentor of mine named Covve, who shared it with me at a workshop in Kripalu for any folks that are in the Northeast in the US that have been there, and we'll share her info at the end. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here, Tess. And I guess you already kind of started teasing what you're about to do. So go ahead and take it away.
Okay, so what y'all are going to be doing today is crafting a one-sentence life purpose statement. It is going to be speedy. And I imagine folks have done a similar kind of activity before. And if you have, the intention today is to really practice following your curiosity. And if you've already done one, then perhaps it is my hope that this is then an opportunity for refinement. And the goal for today is not to craft a perfect, amazing statement in all of 5 minutes. This is going to be something that you're going to iterate on. I will say I have done this activity probably 3 or 4 times over the last 5 years, and I continue to refine. So how this is going to go, I'm going to share 2 different prompts. You'll have 1 minute each to share to kind of just jot down either on, ooh, I'm hearing a little background. Okay, thanks y'all. Thanks tech team. So you'll have 1 minute to write down stream of consciousness. So either gather a pen and paper, or you could just do it right on your computer. There are no right or wrong answer. There's no wrong answers. Everything you say is a right answer. And Richard, my co-facilitator, will share his purpose statement for some inspo. You'll share yours. Then you'll have a chance to go into breakouts, and we will go from there. So I'm going to queue up. Oh, nice to have a fellow Colorado person, Kendra. So if you have any questions, please share them in the chat. Otherwise, we're going to start with prompt number 1. So if my tech team can share prompt 1 in the chat, and I'm going to read it 2 times, and then you will have just 1 quick minute to jot stuff down. So prompt 1, you are at a party for you. Everyone you love and care about is attending to honor your life. Everyone will give a speech about how you have touched their life. What do they say? How do they feel about you? How would they describe your impact? So again, what do they say? How do they feel about you? And how would they describe your impact? So take 1 minute to jot down anything that comes up there. I always kind of feel like a school teacher here, like pencils down. And next prompt, we can paste it in the chat. So imagine you were given the opportunity to speak in front of the entire world. You are calm and excited, speaking from your heart. You are there to inspire and encourage. Your audience awaits with anticipation. What would your message be? How would everyone walk away feeling? What would be possible now? Again, what would your message be? How would everyone walk away feeling? And what would be possible now? 1 minute for this stream of consciousness. All right. Take a deep breath here. So your life purpose is on that page, or at least your V1 of your life purpose. And I recommend using a Mad Lib, which we'll paste in the chat, which is, my purpose is to X, which is your vision for the world, by doing Y, which is how you do it. And you're going to have a chance, you're going to have 90 seconds this time to craft your life purpose statement. And before you do that, we're going to bring my bud Richard onto the stage to share his for some inspiration. And Richard, happy for you to share your statement. And Richard and I practiced this before. That's why he has his statement already ready. And Richard, if you have just a brief reflection on the process, happy to hear that too.
Yeah, so my life purpose is to create a world without loneliness by teaching people how to find excuses to connect in their daily lives. And yeah, I love those prompts that you provided, because they're very deep questions that make you consider, like, what do you really want to accomplish, or how do you want to be remembered at the end of your life?
Yeah, thanks so much for sharing, Richard.
Thank you.
So now I'm going to turn it over to you. You're going to have 90 seconds to craft, again, just an initial something to iterate on, and a couple of reminders. The goal here is clear and concise. So something that really captures your essence. Perfection is not the goal. This is a version you can play with and continue to iterate on. So again, the Mad Lib, quote unquote, is in the chat. My life by purpose is to X, which is your vision for the world, by doing Y, how you do it. So we're going to set one last timer here. Go for it. And then we'll have time for breakouts where you get to share your purpose, and we'll have some reflection questions. All right. Let's all take a breath together as you have hopefully something on the page. And you're going to go into breakouts now, and we'll paste the instructions in the chat. So first is an invitation to share your purpose statement loud and proud. And I can imagine there might be some desire to caveat, and to the extent possible, I just encourage you to share it without any caveats. And like, yes, this is a V1. That is that. Own it. And if you don't feel comfortable sharing, that is totally fine, and encourage you to instead focus the conversation on what are the through lines of your life purpose that you can trace in both previous and current endeavors. And that includes both your personal and professional. It's very much my hope that this relates and you kind of can find the through lines of both your personal and professional lives, which I imagine for many of us on this call are quite intertwined. And then the second question is, using your life purpose as a North Star, where is the opportunity for you to really live into it more fully? And we'll give you reminders at the halfway mark to make sure that you switch. And I think that's all you need to go into breakout. So enjoy.
Here they are. Tessa, welcome back.
Welcome back. Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. I hope that was a fruitful conversation. And I know we're going to move on to our final activity. And if you would like to share in the chat, we have a couple of final prompts here. So invitation to, number one, share your purpose statement in the chat if you'd like. I'd also love to hear any insights that are beginning to emerge or anything that you're really feeling called to explore now. So thanks again. I know we're also going to share my contact info and info from Covve, who wrote the book. Can't see it, but well, it's in there now. And there actually she does 4 prompts. So if you wanted to experiment with a bit more, inspo to buy the book. Thanks so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Tess. That was great. I love, I've been working on my purpose statement for years now, and I keep iterating, and it was just fun to do this live with Tess and keep refining and working on it. And then now I kind of have it. It rolls off my tongue. I know it by heart. I hope you all appreciated that and got something, a little iteration, a little direction on that purpose statement, and learn about that, something about each other, and most importantly, about their purpose, their mission. And I'm just jealous I'm not in the breakout rooms with you guys to learn about all of you and your purpose statements. So share it in the chat with me. And last but not least, please give a warm welcome to Jan Keck. Stoked to have you here, Jan, you and your fireplace. Good to see you again. And I'm super excited for the group to finish this thing off with your activity. But before we get started, go ahead and give a brief introduction and kind of what brought you here.
Yeah, and I thought I'll read out my life purpose statement that I just crafted on the spot to start us off. So my life purpose is to ensure that everybody feels seen and heard by teaching leaders how to melt the ice in groups. And I'm purposefully saying melting the ice because I'm a little bit on a mission to help reframe icebreakers, because to me that's a very violent image of like a group frozen ice, a facilitator coming in with a sledgehammer trying to free them, and in the process people get hurt, right? I think we've all been part of an icebreaker, or at least if you're a little bit like me, recovering shy guy, more introverted than extroverted. There have been many times where I felt like I've been put on the spot and I had to perform or do something silly in front of a group of people that I didn't know. And I just don't want anybody to feel that way. So very excited for structured activities that help people connect with each other like we've been already exploring today.
I love that. And I love your mission. It's so important. I spent a lot of time thinking about how to help people feel seen and heard, including in this space here. It is not easy, and I want to throw mad respect your way for you being able to do that well. You are an expert in it, and I'm stoked that you're here for the group. So go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, so the activity today is actually one that I first experienced as a participant, as part of an authentic relating experience that was happening online. And I've since then done it very, very often in person, virtually, and it's become a bit of my kind of secret mission when I'm talking to someone. Because I think when I meet new people, very often the conversations are always the same. What do you do? Where are you from? Kind of, I call them like small talk trap questions. Like we get stuck in this, you answer the question and then you don't know where to go. So the activity that I want to share with you is originally called the Google game, but I like to call it the human search engine instead, just to not make it branded by this big corporation. But the goal is for you to connect with someone deeply by following your curiosity. And I think we all know how search engines work, right? You type something into the search bar and then it shows you the results. And I think humans can also be search engines. You type something into the search bar, meaning the brain and memories and stories come up. And this is exactly what we'll explore in this activity. So I'll explain it, we'll demo it, and then you get to do that with your partner in the breakout room. So this is how it works. You're going to take turns Googling each other, but not actually like taking out your phone and going to Google. One person will be the first Googler and they will complete this blank sentence. If I were to search you and blank, what would I find? For example, if I were to search you and hat, what would I find? If I were to search you and abundance, what would I find? If I searched you and treasured childhood memories, what would I find? Then the other person, who will be the human search engine, will reply with maybe a short personal story, a memory, a feeling. You can share anything you want, but I recommend that doing a bit of an association game and sharing the first thing that comes up. But for today, let's keep it short and give the other person to Google or search for a few different things. Once they're complete, just thank your partner. And then when it's time to switch, you switch and the other person can go. Before we demo, two really big guidelines or rules. Number one, and this is really important, search engines may pass on any question. Like if you're like, this is not a topic I want to talk about right now, say page not found or try again. And the other person just picks a different search term and you'll just continue. The other thing is, for the Googlers, the people who are searching for things in the other person's mind and memories, your job is to be present and follow your curiosity. And one really cool tool I'll give you is the double click. So whenever the other person is sharing a story and you hear one word, so maybe they're sharing a story about how they bought the hat in Portland, Oregon, then you're like, pause them and you say, I want to double click on Portland, Oregon. And then they'll continue sharing that search result. And the goal is to really find what is making the other person sparkle in their eyes. So by the end, you find something that you both are excited and passionate about. That would be the end goal. And that's what you want to double click on. And ideally, you want to double click a couple of times. So Tess, I'm going to invite you to our little virtual stage. I would love to try this out. And let me know if you're ready.
Ready.
Good. I can see you here. Okay. If I were to Google you and friendship, what would I find?
Oh, a lot. You would find monthly Zooms that I do with my college friends that started in COVID, but have continued. You'd find me going on lots of trips with my Peace Corps friends every year, all over the US and the world. Yeah.
I'll double click on
okay.
I'll double click on Peace Corps.
Yeah. So I did the Peace Corps in very rural Costa Rica in 2008 to 2010, and kind of the thing I never expected going into Peace Corps, I thought like, I'm going to change the world in this little town. And I didn't really think about making friends with other Peace Corps volunteers, and they have become some of my closest friends in the whole wide world. And it's just been it was a really beautiful, kind of unexpected byproduct of that really powerful experience.
Okay, I'm going to pause here because I know we don't want to go super deep. I hope you get the idea. If you now heard Tess share, I was thinking I could double click on Costa Rica. I heard Costa Rica. I heard close friends. I could go even deeper on like the friendship theme that I started on, or anything else that interests you. So this is not, there's no right or wrong. There's no, thing to double click. It's based on what you're personally curious about. And I think we're going to give you the instructions in the chat with a couple of things that you can start on. And whoever in the breakout room will smile first, you will be the person who's Googling first. Okay, instructions again are in the chat. And then ideally, you want to make sure that you Google or double click at least 3 different search terms or words. So you get through a couple of rounds before you switch at around the 3-minute mark. Okay. I think those are all the instructions from me.
Have fun Googling.
If there's any questions, but other than that, yeah, go ahead and start Googling.
Thank you, everyone, for being a part of this, going through the 3 breakout room activities with each other. Hopefully you got to stay in the same breakout with a friend and got to know someone a little deeper than you had known them before coming in. Before we wrap up, I would love to launch one final poll. We want to find out what connection resources would be most helpful for you to like keep connected and move forward in your connection intentions here. And while we're wrapping that up, just kind of share in the chat some gratitudes, goodbyes. But thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I'm grateful for each of you. Many of you I've gotten to know one-on-one and double-clicked in my own human search engine, double-clicked into your life a little bit and gotten to know you. Some of you are upcoming panelists. Stephen Michael Crane, great to see you. Sandra's here. So many friendly faces. And if you want to be a part of this crew, on this poll, one of the options is collaborate with Covve Connection crew like this masterclass. And I will reach out to you and invite you to have a one-on-one chat about what it might be like for you to join as a panelist or be in the crew with us. Thank you, everyone. It is 10 o'clock. We are moving into the after party. If you have to go, we understand. We're grateful for you being here. Let's all say goodbye to our friends. A little, some party fingers. Thank you for being here. And now we're just going to hang out with each other. Okay. I would love to hear it. How did that go? Thoughts on, if you've been here before, maybe thoughts on changes that we had this time and how that went for you.
This is great. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm really impressed with how smooth your operations are with all this. The prompting, the timing, the management of a group this size, like, really, really good on execution. And I really enjoyed the prompts, like the opportunities to reflect, especially on life purpose. Like what a gift to give somebody the chance to explore that part of themselves that, we underlies what we do in our lives every day, but maybe we've almost never thought explicitly about what it is. So thank you for that, Tess.
Thanks, Stephen. It's great to have you here too. And I'm so excited for the group to kind of experience your own facilitation. Just for warning, there's a lot of back end stuff in the Run a Show to make it smooth, make it feel smooth for everyone else.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. So thank you for bearing with me. What about like maybe a big takeaway? If it was a purpose statement or something else, what came up for you? Bev, did you have a takeaway? One of the biggest takeaways from today? Put you on the spot here.
Well, I help leaders and businesses craft purpose statements day in, day out. So that's my jam. So it was really joyful to actually just take a moment and think about my own purpose statement again and like think about how to put it into a few words. And it felt like a bit of a precious situation, but I really loved it. I loved the simplicity of it. And I am going to be committed to carry on to refine it and get it to what it needs to be, because it was a really awesome activity and reminder. So thanks so much for making it part of the agenda, and Tess, for bringing your genius to the group today.
Tess, you want to comment?
I just really appreciate it. As Hansen knows very well, I usually do this in like a 75-minute workshop. And so it gave me a lot of anxiety to do it in whatever it was, like 12 minutes. So it means a lot. And this was awesome data collection for me as a facilitator, that it is indeed possible to do. I'm actually starting a text with the person with Covve, who BTW Hansen said her website is being funky. So that is the correct link. Her book, maybe I'll just put her, oh yeah, the book is not coming up with my background. I'll put her book link in the chat, and really encourage y'all to reach out to her. And I'm so happy to connect with anybody as well. So yeah.
Thank you for being up for the challenge of converting a 75-minute activity into a 5-minute breakout room. Dan, how was it for you this time? Or Kevin, someone share.
It was great. I love connecting with somebody who's new to it. Doug was my partner today, his first time. So Doug, welcome. I just love hearing people's stories. Like when I first was invited to one of these Hansen by you, I thought, oh, this seems just interesting. But each time it's just a deeper connection with other human beings. We have conversations afterwards. It was once again just a powerful community. So bravo to the team putting this together.
Love it. Thanks, Dan. And real quick, while we still have some folks in the room, we'll keep hanging out for 10 more minutes, but let's take a group picture together. This is the Joyful Connection Masterclass. So put on your best joy face, and then our tech team is going to take a screenshot. So maybe Andy or Hennessis, whoever's going to do it, can you give us like a count of 3 when to put our joy face on?
Absolutely. Just say cheese, okay? So 3, 2, 1, cheese. Yeah, we got it.
All right. We will share this out afterwards. You'll probably see me try to tag. If you're on LinkedIn, I probably already reached out to you, but I'll try to tag you on LinkedIn. But
Hansen,
yeah, Kevin.
you ask, I love the flow today. I mean, right, the managing of time is always a challenge, and there's so much. And I'll just say, you mentioned I've been to every one of these. This just seemed to be the most flawless and the best flow. And I love the content. I love the activities. And I'll just say, keep showing up, people. I love showing up. I was partnered with Holly today. Holly and I met here some months ago. We've connected on LinkedIn, but this was the first time we ever ended up in a one-on-one conversation. It was just so fun to learn so much. So this is it, Hansen, I just say that put this on your calendar. Be here every single time. The return on attendance is amazing. And I got to give a shout out to my friend Jason. Oh, I finally get to see here, longtime friend. And he introduced me to Jan years ago. And so I love getting to experience you firsthand, Jan.
Yeah, it's full circle because you introduced me to Hansen, and which is why I'm here. And then I get to see Jan, who started this whole thing. So it's just full circle. It's really, really good. And this is my first one. Is this do you do a similar format every month, Hansen, where you have a panelist you have a panel who they all take turns running connection activities, or is it different each month?
I would like to say I'm able to do this monthly, but let's be real, it's a lot of work to pull these off. So it's probably every 1 or 2 months. But I did achieve one of my biggest goals, which is have the next one ready by the time this one happens, and September's ready. It's planned. And another pat on the back. We got 15 of our crew members that are going to be in Madison, Wisconsin at the end of August together. That includes Giannis and Melina all the way from Cyprus and Greece.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm just stoked to be able to meet people face to face. I love you guys on Zoom, but face to face is going to be.
I know you and I don't live too far from each other, but I may not see you in person until we go to Madison.
Yeah. We have several Southern California people in this room, and sorry, Bev, you're next Southern California. But yeah, I would love to meet some people face to face too. And open to hearing from others too, especially some maybe people who was the first time. And Jason was your first time, but who else was the first rodeo, your debut connection crew?
I want to say thank you to Richard, because as I shared in my breakout room, I came in here shields up this morning because I was very in a vulnerable spot, and immediately shut my eyes and started crying. So Richard, thank you for unlocking me, because I desperately needed that today. And it was a tremendously valuable. All 3 were good. It got me ready for the next 2. And it led me down a road that I think I just uncovered kind of a new direction for myself, which Kevin, I know I have so many new directions. You're probably like, no, Sandra, pick one. But I think I found one that I really feel. So that's all. Thanks, Hansen.
Yeah. Are you open to sharing that new direction, Sandra, or it's okay if
My
not?
purpose statement. No, I'm totally open to it. So it came out of my purpose statement test. My purpose is to create a compassionate world by unlocking our power and courage to raise healthy children.
Wow. Thank you for sharing.
That is
Yeah,
new and
sure.
different.
Yeah.
I love it
know,
though.
Kevin. I know.
And
It's
Natasha,
really,
Natasha, your first time here, right?
Yes.
How did it go?
Oh my gosh, I completely echo what Sandra just said. I was very intimidated at first. I was like, oh, I shouldn't join this. I'm not in the right headspace. But then I thought, if this is surfacing right now, it's the perfect time to join. So I loved it. I completely agree with Kevin. These were fantastic exercises. I feel like they came right at the right time, and I hope to come to future ones. So really appreciate the reach outs.
Thank you for being a part of that. Robin, good to see you. How was it?
Super great. I really enjoyed it, and I'm literally editing the back matter for my book I'm going to publish on my author statement. So the exercise about I've written my statement so many times, but just to do it in a really spontaneous way without thinking too much and without reviewing my other content was the perfect exercise for me today. Literally, like I'm going to be turning it in within the next couple of days. So that was excellent. Thank you very much. And since I run a lot of Zoom groups, I'm totally impressed on the tech part and the smoothness. I was like, whoa, next level. Kind of blew my mind on how smooth that was.
Let's give a shout out to the tech team who made that possible. We have Andy here and Hennesis from Nerea Tech. Happy to make introductions. A lot of us are facilitators and event hosts professionally. They're amazing to work with. They make this possible, and so I've learned a ton from them. I do not want to take any credit for it. So yeah, reach out to Andy or Hennesis or Nerea Tech, or ask me for an email intro, and I'll introduce you guys. They make this magical. So, oh man, who else? I haven't heard from Merritt. I haven't heard from you yet.
Hi. This was great. I kind of resonate with some things other people have said. I had a really emotional morning and wasn't sure I was available for this, but it really, I'm just walking away like feeling warm, connected. I loved my partner, and the more we talked, the more we realized we had in common, and it just, yeah, I loved being here.